Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing this morning? I hope that your day is off to a wonderful, fantastic start. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Carrington. Not your first time here. Hi, welcome back. If you enjoy any and all things makeup related, definitely go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified of all my future uploads, and so you can join this dumpster fire family, as well as go follow me over on Instagram. I'm trying to post some more over there, so definitely go check me out over on Instagram. And let's go ahead and let's dive on into today's video, which is going to be testing out a ton of makeup. A ton of makeup. You guys, when I say I placed a very, very large Sephora order. I'm not joking. It was large, it was expensive. But that's fine because we are here now to test it all out, to just see how everything is. So what are we testing out today? You might be wondering. Great question. So I have the Makeup by Mario. So I have the light medium. This is like the cream, kind of like bronzer tint. I have the powder one as well. We have the new Abh palette. So excited to use that. We have this from Natasha Denona, which is the Skin Glass Primer Serum. We have this from Lys. This is the Secure Skin Gripping Primer. From Lys, we have like this lip liner, which means I'm going to have to find a lip that goes with that, but we'll find one. We have the Lys Triple Fix Setting Powder. We have from Ilia the new Broad Spectrum SPF. It says, is this tinted? I don't know if it's tinted because it says right here tone 1. I don't know. I don't know if it's actually tinted or not. I'll have to try it. I have a Dior Brow Gel. I have the new Huda Beauty Luminous Matte Liquid Concealer. And then from Haus Labs, we have the new brow pencil. And then from Mcgrath, I did get 3 of the blushes and then a highlighter. So that's some of the stuff we're going to be testing out today. I have tons more that we need to test out. I placed a large Ulta order and a large Sephora order. So hopefully you guys are excited for this. Wow, we have a lot to test out. So let's go ahead and let's dive on in. All right, so we're first going to start off with sunscreen. I always do my eyes first, but I want to put the sunscreen on so I have plenty of time to like sink into my skin. This is from Ilia. This is the C Beyond Triple Serum Broad Spectrum SPF 40 Sunscreen. Brightening Natural Protection, Vitamin C, Niacinamide, allantoin. Yeah. This is a breakthrough serum that delivers potent vitamin C, mineral SPF, and weightless hydration all in one. Capsulated vitamin C, niacinamide, and non-nano zinc oxide activate on contact to brighten, smooth, and protect. A blend of dry oils and allantoin instantly absorbs to hydrate and soothe, leaving your skin with a fresh, plumped glow. Available in 3 translucent tones that disappear into skin without a white cast. Okay. It's non-comedogenic, dermatologist tested. Shake well before use. Dispense a generous amount into palms and apply like a serum to skin. Wear alone or under your makeup to boost skin's natural glow. All right. So mine is in tone 1. Are we shocked? Probably not. So it definitely feels really liquidy. I'm sure as you can hear, there's like a little ball in there helping shake some stuff up. Yeah, so shake vigorously before use. It has all like the information on like the bottle as well, which I appreciate. Just because sometimes, actually most of the time, I don't like keep the boxes of my stuff. So it's just nice to appreciative to have it be on the actual thing. So this is what this looks like. Okay. Hold on. No, nothing's coming out. Give it just a second. Here we go. Okay. So first of all, this is very liquidy. This is tone 1. Okay. I'm a little bit nervous about if this is going to change my skin or not. Okay. It doesn't really seem like it's changing the color of my face. I was really worried because for a second I was like, oh man. Okay, so this is, first of all, really nice, really hydrating. Second of all, really glowy. It does what it says. It really amps up that glowiness. This is this is one I think like really dry skin people would love to have in their collection. It's just really nice, really hydrating. Like you can feel the hydration in it. It provides a glow. I don't know how oily people would really feel about this. Truthfully, I don't have oily skin. I don't even have like the teeniest bit of oily skin. Like there's nothing. There's no oil in my skin. Nothing. Here is the Abh palette. It's very, very beautiful. It feels interesting. Like it's not like velvet. It's not like a matte. It's just like has like this texture in it. Interesting. Okay. So when you open it up on the inside, look how beautiful this is. Wow. I like that. So I'm first going to go into that purple shade, which is called Wisteria. So this is definitely kind of like a very like pastel type of purple. Has a little bit of kick up and fallout. So I want to start this on like the inner portion of my eye. It's like all the way through. I mean, that does show up really nice. So I'm just going to like focus that in just like the inner part of my eye. Just, you know, I don't know how well this is going to turn out, so just trust the process is what I'm going to say right now. Just trust and believe. Trust and believe. Hercules. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. So now, I want to go into that shade Blvd, which is this green. I'm going to put that on like the outer part of my eye and meet it in the middle. Like blend it together. For like the eye portion part, I'm going to go into the shade right here called Hope. And I'm going to focus that towards like the outer portion of my eye, kind of where the green is. So then for the inner part, let's see, what does this look like? This is the shade Lily. It's like a brown with like a peachy purple shift. Let's try that on like the inner part of the eye. Well, I don't know if this is necessarily what I envisioned in my head, but it's not awful. We've got liner and lashes put on. I feel like it looks a lot more put together now that we have like liner and lashes and things. I think it looks much, much better. Well, let me know what you guys think down below. But we're going to move on into the priming of the skin. So I have two different primers to try. I use like a more glowy, hydrating primer and one that might be a little bit more pore filling or gripping. So we have that. So first off, we have this Natasha Denona Iogen Skin Glass Energizing and Hydrating Primer Serum. It's vegan, paraben-free, alcohol-free, gluten-free, silicone-free, talc-free, microplastic-free, mineral oil-free, UV filters-free, D5-free, nanomaterials-free, not tested on animals, and make sure you keep out of reach of children. Okay. This is a lightweight primer serum with a silky consistency and a dewy, plumping finish. Features 2 advanced nutrient-rich compounds, hydroviatin, to immediately infuse skin with up to 72 hours of continuous moisture, and sim control, which balances oil in the T-zone for an instantly glowing, fresh baby skin feel. Oh, you can use this as part of like your skincare routine because it has anti-aging peptides, which over time can reduce fine lines, hyperpigmentation, fatigue, things like that. Interesting. Okay. So here is the component. Of course, being Natasha Denona, very, very just like very luxe feeling. Has a nice dropper. It feels nice and weighted. So I am a fan of this. So I'm going to go ahead, got my little dropper, Ooh, okay. So automatically when I look at this, I see like little gold, I don't know, like glitter kind of reflex in it. I'm not sure how that's going to like translate onto the skin, but it does feel hydrating. And again, today my skin is going to be glowy with a little pizzazz of Hoey. Curled hair and all. Hoey. So now that I've let that set for just a little bit, we are now going to go into the Lys Secure Skin Gripping Serum Primer. It has niacinamide, AHA content as well. It's pore and shine control. So this might be actually good for the T-zone. Keeps unwanted shine away. Helps balance the appearance of skin and minimize the look of enlarged pores. Evenly apply a thin layer to skin following moisturizer. Wear alone or with makeup. I don't necessarily know that I would take something that's like a grippy primer serum and would wear alone. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I just personally wouldn't. So it comes, again, like their packaging is all about like kind of like a triangle. And they did that again with like this packaging. Super cute. So, I don't know. I gotta take off this little bottom piece. A little, oh, there we go. That was easier than I anticipated. Okay, so I'm just taking a very small amount. Start just like, I'm gonna start really focusing it on like my T-zone and then working it out. Like, just because like my T-zone's the most oily. Well, even then it's not really that oily. Just, it has the most pores. It has the most pores. There we go, that's what I'm trying to say, is it has the most pores. Okay, it doesn't say, it just says use like with makeup or without, apply a thin even layer, but it doesn't tell you if you should like let it set for a little bit or like not. It doesn't tell me anything. But wow, is my skin like all the glow. All the glow. You can't tell me nothing in that. So then I went in with my Lys foundation. So now we can start moving on to some of the wonderful complexion products that we have. So first off, we're going to start off with the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Luminous Matte Liquid Concealer. I have mine in the shade, oh my gosh, I can't even read it. Can you guys even read that? Oh god, what is it? Whipped Cream. Blendable, buildable, brightens and corrects. Water, sweat, transfer proof. 14-hour crease proof. Lightly dot concealer under eyes on dark spots, redness, and blemishes. Blend using a brush or damp sponge. Repeat for added coverage. Okay. Alright. So, ooh. So here is the packaging. It kind of is like reminiscent of like one of their like liquid lipsticks, like the mini ones. Except for obviously it's bigger than that, but the packaging kind of reminds me of like the same. It's a nice square, it's nice square packaging. It says Huda Beauty here, and then you've got faux filter concealer. So okay, so this is like the doe foot. It's a very large doe foot. So I'm gonna get right on in there because I do have some dark spots in that area. This is very, very light, and I have not ever, this is almost white, if we're going to be honest, which truthfully, with my skin being as like fair as it is, my complexion being as fair as it is, if I want something brightening, I kind of do have to go in with like almost like a white concealer. So it blends out really easily. I'm not having any issues with it blending. And it did appear to really actually cover my dark circles. It does brighten the under eyes, but I think the one dot kind of like didn't brighten it all the way down as much as I wanted. So I'm going to take like another like dot and put it just like lower down and then just kind of like blend upwards, and then we'll see like what happens there. But I do like how nice and just like bright this is. Especially for me being literally like so fair. So, wow. I like this so far. Okay. Alright. First of all, I am not noticing, this is not super heavy. This is not like super cakey or anything. A little bit does go a very long way, so you don't need a lot. Like my under eyes just like don't really look, like they don't look bad. Like they just still look really nice and hydrated. So I like that. Okay. So next, moving on, let me figure out which one is which. Okay, this one. So next up, for like a cream bronzer, we have this Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. I have mine in the shade Light Medium. I was thinking about getting like the lightest one, but I had heard a few people say, like I haven't like watched reviews, but somebody in like a makeup group that I'm in was just like, I feel like it's better if you get like a shade darker. And so I did go up a shade, but I'm going to just like stipple this on the skin. Oh wow. I like that. It's just like very, just like, it's very creamy, you know, not too warm, not too cool either. It's like a very good, just like neutral type of like cream bronzer. I'm really digging that actually. I think this looks really good. A couple things that I purchased a while back but I haven't used, so I was like, oh, I just thought of these. These Say blushes. So we have Peachy and we have Spicy that I had got, I don't know, from a Sephora order. So here we have Peachy and here we have Spicy. Let's go in with Peachy. That's what I want to do. I'm just going to put some dabs on my cheeks. More dabs on my cheeks. I know you're probably like, that's a lot of dabs, but it really does, like these blend out just like beautifully. Like it just blends like a dream. Like, do you see that? Just blends so beautifully, like a little dream. Like someone call the Sandman, I'm dreaming. Okay, so next up, we need to set the face. So I have the LYS Triple Fix Translucent Setting Powder. So it says gently buff into skin after foundation using a powder brush. Dust off any excess product, reapply as needed. So I have really just like been getting into LYS, truthfully. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I have not found a product of theirs where I've been like, I could probably do without. You know, like I really feel like this brand is so good. And the thing that's so, like, I guess like knocks it out of the park for me is that they're in Sephora. And Sephora, like, you're doing good to find anything less than $20 in Sephora. Like, if we're just gonna be honest, anything less than $20 in Sephora, you're doing good, kid. But with this, it's like, it's almost all of their stuff is less than $20. All right, so I'm gonna start with this little brush right here. Just gonna pick some of the powder up, and I'm gonna trying to like set my under eye. I'm just gonna take a bigger brush and just kind of set around the cheeks where I would put powder products. That's what I'm trying to do. Just only where I put powder products. You know, I've heard a lot of people rave about this. I don't know if it's like the products, like just how much glowy stuff I have used underneath. Truthfully, because I feel like it's just like sticking to my face and then just kind of wanting to like pill like some of the areas up. I don't, like right here specifically, I don't think it looks bad. I just like other powders. Oh, I thought I lost my earring. I just like other other palettes more than this, or other powders more than this. But then again, it could be because like I was wearing like a ton of like really dewy stuff. I don't know. I'd have to try out all the products and then like a different powder, and then try out different products with that powder and just kind of see if it's an it issue or if it was just like the products that I was using together. We'll have to find out. So next up from Makeup by Mario is this little like trio kind of a deal. So you have one that's kind of like deeper, it's a little bit more matte, and then it kind of gradients up into like a lighter kind of like setting, like it would be like a setting powder. Truthfully, I would probably just use this whole thing as a like bronzer. So let's just see what happens. I just want to apply it lightly. So I feel like it picked up a lot. So I'm just going to lightly dabble it into the face. Just stippling it. You know, I'm not going to lie. I haven't tried everything from Makeup by Mario. You know, I've tried like his blush stick, his contour stick, his brow gel, and now these. But I'm just gonna say, so far, I have seriously been so impressed with everything that he has to offer. This is no exception as well. Again, I think it just melts into the skin. Like it just melts into it. I don't know what kind of witchcraft and sorcery this is, but I am here for it. Okay, so while I'm at that point, I'm going to go ahead and take this Dior Show On Set Brow Waterproof Brow Mascara. Wait a minute. Yeah, 20, yeah, brow gel. Okay. I literally thought I just read mascara, and then I was like, no. So it comes with like this little itty bitty brush, which I'm here. I appreciate that. I'm just going to start scooping it through the brows and shaping them. This is kind of an expensive brow gel. I personally don't think you need to spend your money on this. I don't think it's anything super duper special, but I do set my brows. Okay, so we definitely need to finish up the lower lash line. I think I honestly just want to do something just like super neutral and easy. So I'm just going to take this shade right here called Metro. And I'm just going to dab that just like very closely to the lash line, like so, all the way across. Then I'm going to take the shade right here called Fleur, and I'm just going to smoke that even more underneath the lash line. Okay, I need to know, is anybody else here like just like have dance parties when they're doing their makeup? Like, I'm not talking about like, you know, you turn on Spotify or Pandora or whatever, the radio. I'm talking like you're sitting here doing your makeup, and the next thing you know, you're up on stage and you are just like, you are Spotify. Let me know if anybody else is like that or if it's just me. So dead last for this, we're going to go into this shade right here called Isle, and we are going to take this on this little tiny baby brush, and we're just going to focus that on our inner corner. That's going to be our inner corner highlight. So next up we have blushes. So I ordered 3 of the Pat McGrath blush duos. So the first one that I have here, this is called, what is this called? Cosmic Coral. So we've got like a deep brown, and then we've got like a bubblegum like pink, and then you mix them together, and this is kind of the shade that you have. It does lean a little bit more of that bubblegum type pink. So that's an option. The next one we have is called Divine Rose 2. So when you open that up, you kind of have more of like a mauve, and then you kind of have a like nice rosy type of blush shade. So these are what they look like separate, and then you swirl them together and you've kind of got this shade. It's a little bit more muted of this. So I think I might like the more mauve-y for this. I don't know. Have to see what the last one brings us. Very last one is going to be Paradise Glow. So in here, this is definitely more of like a nude. So you've got like a light nude, and then you've kind of got like a warm terracotta type nude. And then when you swirl them all together, this is what you get. I'm not gonna lie, I think I really just like just the nude part. So that's one thing that I really like about these, is that you just have like the ability to be able to do one or the other, or you can mix both together and kind of create like your own like shade. So I'm just gonna focus primarily just like in like the nude, and put this on my blush brush and just start to sweep it towards the back of the cheeks, just like so. I mean, this formula is a really, really good formula as well. I really like Mcgrath Blushes. I don't really have like the issue of it like emphasizing any texture. It looks really beautiful and like natural. Like it doesn't look like you're wearing, like it looks like you're wearing blush. Like obviously it's like your skin doesn't normally look like have like a million different tones, but it's like it just sinks in so well with like the rest of the makeup, your skin, that it's just kind of like, it could have been real. It could have been real. All right, so the next up is going to be, we're almost to the end, like, wow. Is going to be the Pat McGrath. This is the Lunar Allure highlighter. Here it is. It's like this really nice crystal, nice and shiny type of highlight. I feel like a lot of hers usually tend to lean more like gold, and so I'm really appreciative that we have one that's not like just gold. All right, so I'm just going to take my little highlight brush and just start focusing that on the high points of the face. I mean, wow, look at that. It is just so like undeniably beautiful. It just is. I don't know what else there is to tell you about it. It's literally so beautiful. Wow. Wow. I am a glowing. And again, that highlighter, her highlighter formula just doesn't really emphasize a lot of texture at all. Like it just doesn't. Do I go a little bit overboard with my highlighter? Of course I do. I'm here for it. Next up we have is from Haus Labs. This is the Edge Precision Brow Pencil. I have mine in medium brown. I don't know if I'm gonna regret this. Maybe. I might regret this. Okay, so it comes with a spoolie on one end. And then it's kind of got like this really nice like small tip. So let's see what we can do here. I have to get the mirror like literally like right up in front of my brows. Okay. So far, starting out pigmented. I like to just like underline my brow, and then we'll start with like some little baby hairs. Like so, and then we'll just kind of fill in the rest of the brow. And just like some tiny little strokes to fill in the sparse areas, which truthfully is everywhere, but for sure my tail of my brow. Yeah, that's really good. I think this is a fantastic brow shade for me as well. I was a little bit nervous because looking at this, I was like, oh, this is going to be really warm. It is not. This looks so good. Wow. This is a good makeup day. So I've sat my face with my Urban Decay All-Nighter. We now have a lip option. So this is the Cosas Hot Liner Hyaluronic Acid Plumping Lip Liner. It has konjac root, jojoba oil, and hyaluronic acid. So lips appear hydrated, visibly plump, and protected. Clean, smooth plumping plus hydrating retractable liner. Powered by hyaluronic acid that softly sculpts, defines, and amplifies lips. Okay, all right. here's like the component. I really like the ombre-ness of it. I think that's cute. It's really nice, really thick. Let's check out the pencil. So it's a like you can put it up or down. It's not like a sharpenable one. So let's see here. Okay, so I think I really, really like this lip liner. Yeah, no, it feels okay on the lips. It did a great job lining and filling. I don't know I necessarily really want to change the color a whole lot. So I'm just going to add my Essence Extreme Shine Volume Lip Gloss. And kind of slab some of that on. Alright, so here is the completed and final look. What does everybody think of the look? I actually think this came together like super well. I was a little bit nervous at first how things were going to go, but I ultimately think that like this went really well. So now comes like the really, really hard part is I'm going to tell you what I think of each product and try to rank them. So you guys maybe have more of an idea of like the products maybe you should check out versus what you should not. So let's just dive on. So coming in very last place for me is going to be the Lys translucent setting powder. I don't know if it was just like the amount of like hydrating products that was underneath the rest of my makeup, but I felt like it was just really sticky, like the brush with the powder was just really sticking to the rest of the makeup. So just based on a first impression, I'm just kind of like, I don't really see the hype around this, truthfully. But also at the same time, I do want to use this more. But if we're just going based off first impression wise, this was probably my least favorite thing that we tried today. But it's not awful. I need to play around with it a little bit more before I can give like a more definitive type answer. Next up is going to be this Dior Eyebrow Gel. Here's the thing. I like the nice small applicator. I think, you know, it did a good job. My brows don't feel overly crunchy. But I don't feel like they're as satin as some of my like others, like the Makeup by Mario, my NYX brow glue, the Benefit brow setter. Like I feel like those really lock my brows into place. I feel like this one does okay, but also for the price that it is, absolutely not. I bought it to try it because it's Dior. I wanted to try some more things from Dior. No, I think it's a good brow pencil or brow gel. I think it's great, but I have other ones that are more affordable, like the NYX brow glue, that I just like more. So I don't really need that. Next up is going to be this Ilia SPF. I really do like this. It's a very nice hydrating, provides glow. As it says, it does have amazing skincare ingredients. I don't necessarily think it did anything any more special than like my drugstore moisturizer or my drugstore SPF does. So this may be one I have to play around with more to see if I like it more over long term. But this is like $60 or like $50. It's like in the $50 to $60 price range. And that's really expensive for an SPF, especially since I'm using some really good ones that I can literally just go to Walmart and pick up, and it's made for the face. Like I've got like the Sunbum that's made for the face. There's ones from CeraVe that is just sunscreen, not like the tinted, not like the moisturizer with sunscreen. And I just tend to like those, and they work really well. I haven't like gotten sunburnt. I'm also like a stickler about sunscreen, so I'm gonna have to play around with this a little bit more as well, just to see if it's worth the price tag over time to beat out my drugstore, but it's gonna be tough. Next up is going to be this Natasha Denona Skin Glass Hydrating Primer Serum. I really did enjoy this. I thought this was a fantastic primer. It did exactly what it said. It hydrated, and it definitely left a really good glow on my skin. But this is like $50. And granted, you don't even get like a full, wait a minute, do you get a full mil? No, you get 20 mils. That's 10 mils less than a full mil for $20. I just don't know that I necessarily think like you need to go out and spend $50 for 20 mils on this. I think there are other options out there that can provide you that doesn't cost that much. Like for like this Say Super Gel Glow, I got a mini of it, and I'm still working my way through the mini, and it's working out fine. So I feel like maybe you could probably get the same with that. Next up is going to be the Lys Gripping Primer. I love how affordable this is, and I loved how it really did kind of, like, it did feel like it was like helping my pores. Whereas most gripping primers literally is just there to grip, but I feel like this did both. I feel like it did grip the primers, and I did feel like it did help the pores. Not like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, my pores don't exist anymore. I don't think that's necessarily the case with this, but I did find that it was a little bit more helpful. Like, I feel like right here where I normally have like super large pores, you can't really notice that. So I was like, that was good. Next up is going to be this from Makeup by Mario. It's the powder, skin enhancer. I think this is okay. Actually, no, I really did like this. I think it really did sink into the skin. I think for me, though, it's just like a little bit warmer than like what I personally look for. If you like warmer bronzers, I think you'll like this. Just for me, I just wanted something warmer, but this is so nice. If it was something that was really like neutral, I definitely would have loved this. It just sank right into the skin. And the thing is like, it has like shimmer aspects of it. Like, it has shimmer in it. But it's not like so shimmery that when you put it on, you're like, that was maybe a little bit overkill. I feel like with this, like, it was just so beautiful. Like, it just sank into the skin. Like, it looked like your skin was naturally that color. It just sank right on in. Even over like the creams and like the other powders. I mean, it looked phenomenal. Just a little bit too warm for me. Next up is going to be like this Cosas Lip Liner. I really do like this lip liner. I think it's a really pretty color. But the only reason why I'm not ranking it any higher is just because like I think it's just like an okay lip liner. I've got other ones that are a little bit cheaper that I enjoy, but I'm kind of excited to see how long this wears. Like, it's a really beautiful color. I like the aspect where you basically just like twist it up and down. I like that, so you don't have to sharpen it. I like that aspect as well. Next up is going to be the Haus Labs Brow Pencil. I was shocked. Like, I was nervous. I was like, oh, this is gonna be way too warm. It's really not. And for me, with like very, very, very sparse brows, I do like something that's a little bit more micro fine. It's not as fine as like the Huda Beauty one. I like the Huda Beauty one for like the little brow stroke in the front. Love that for that. But this did like a phenomenal job just like filling in all my sparse areas on the brow. It did a fantastic job. It's a great color for me. I really do enjoy that. I will say I think it's a little bit expensive for a brow pencil. I feel like now that Lady Gaga rebranded and she's in Sephora now, that she's like really like amping up the amount that her price is, and I'm just like, I don't necessarily know. I mean, maybe, I don't know, this is my first thing, and I'm just like, it's really good, but I don't necessarily know if it's like so good worth the price. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Next up is going to be this Huda Beauty concealer. I love this. I love how light it is. You only need just like a little bit, and it really did brighten up my under eyes. Like, my under eyes are brightened. It's almost like a white, but it's not quite white, if that makes sense. Like, it has like a little bit of like pink to it, so it kind of cancels out my dark circles. I mean, you just need a very little bit, so this will definitely last you. Like, if you're one person where you're like, I just want to buy one concealer and use that until it's gone, you're going to be using this for a very long time. So I feel like that's going to be definitely worth your money. And I feel like they had a good amount of like shade ranges. So if you're fair like me and you need something that's going to be light enough to brighten, I think this is like fantastic for that. It hasn't really like settled into like my fine lines. Again, it looks really, really nice underneath my eyes. So I really do appreciate that. Even with the powder that I was kind of struggling with, it still looks really good. So I'm excited to see what it looks like with like other powders that like I love. Next is going to be my Say Do blushes. I love these blushes. I love that you can just like tap it on and it just blends out like a dream. I will say probably the one thing that's kind of like about it is that sometimes you do have to layer, like these lighter ones, you do have to layer it a little bit for you to even get that pigmentation, but you can definitely get it. It looks so beautiful, so glowy, so dewy, so healthy. I absolutely love that. Next up are going to be these Mcgrath blushes. I think these are really, really good. I like that it's kind of like a 3-in-1. Like, you can mix and match the shades. You can do one shade, do the other shade, mix them together, kind of create like your own like color combination. These are really expensive though. They are like, they're expensive. $44 that's a lot. I know if you're paying for the name and stuff like that, I just kind of feel like $44 for a blush. That's a lot. But I will say, it just like, it also just sinks into the skin. It doesn't emphasize my texture. And it just like, it looks like if people, I don't know, like if this was like an everyday look and like people are like, oh, that's her natural skin color, even though it's not, that would do that, because it just literally just like sinks in that it's like, I don't even, is she wearing makeup? But like it looks like she's wearing makeup, but like, is she? All right, in third place is going to be the ABH palette. I really do like this palette. I think they did a phenomenal job with the formula. The shimmers are really nice and creamy and metallic. It's beautiful. The mattes had a little bit of kick up in the pan. I didn't notice an extreme amount of fallout on the face. I feel like they were really good and pigmented, like especially for that purple shade being like a pastel as it is. It worked out so well on my eyes. I think the issue for me not putting this #1 is kind of like, I'm just kind of like, the purple is just kind of just like randomly in there, and like so is like the green. Like I guess you could kind of like use these, but some of the, it just kind of feels like some of the mattes are a little bit jambled. And you have 4 mattes. Technically you have 5, but this is like the color of your skin tone, so that would be good for like setting or like brow highlight or like something like that. So you only have like 4 matte options, and it's just, I would have preferred, instead of the purple, okay, so either instead of the purple or the green, to either add another green to layer more, or to add another purple. I don't know. That's just kind of my thoughts on that. I may be the only one. But I do love it. I think it's a fantastic palette. Like if you're just like, oh, I'm kind of on the fence about it, it's great. Like the formula is great. Quality is great. Like it's a really good palette. It's probably one of the best ABH palettes that they've come out with in a while. And I own like all the big ones and all the ones that they've come out with. And that formula is probably one of the best that they've come out with. #2 spot is going to be this from Pat McGrath. It is her highlighter. This highlighter is beautiful. It really is. It is blinding. It is intense, which is something that I love. I love that so much. But yes, it is blinding. It is intense. And I love that it doesn't emphasize any of my texture. It does not. It's like a baked gelée type of formula. And it doesn't overly emphasize my texture at all. And I 100%, as somebody with a lot of texture in this area, I appreciate that. Like, thank you. Thank you for not overly emphasizing it. And I love that, like, you could tap it down just a little bit, not make it as intense. I want to make it intense, okay? Like, I just do. And so I did. And I absolutely love it. It's a perfect color for me. It's just a fantastic quality highlighter. I know it's so expensive. That's one of the reasons why I'm like, do I really want this in second place? But I do. It's so good. So #1, in the #1 spot, is going to this from Makeup by Mario. I love this. This is so good. It's so nice. It's so creamy. And it's like the perfect neutral. I don't feel like it's too warm. I don't feel like it's too cool. I felt like it was literally a perfect neutral. Let me go back and let me say this. Perfect neutral. Perfect. It was so fantastic. I did go up a shade. I don't necessarily know, you know, I can't like say, was it worth it to go up a shade? Would the lighter one have worked? Because I didn't purchase the lighter one. I'm kind of debating if I want to purchase the lighter one, not of the powder, but maybe the powder. Maybe the powder might work better for me than this because it's a little bit deeper. To try that out. But I love how it just like sank into the rest of the products. Like it was like, I mean literally like, okay, like it's like, oh, here's the foundation, here's the concealer, and then the bronzer just melts into it. So good. So that is it for today's video. That is testing out a whole bunch of new makeup. Don't worry, we have tons more. I have a box full of, we've got stuff from Ulta to try. I've got the Stranger Things collection from MAC. We've got some drugstore makeup. I've got more high-end stuff from Sephora to try. So that will definitely all be coming. So definitely stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, you're definitely going to want to give this a thumbs up. This helps me out. This lets me know you like this type of content. This lets YouTube know so they can recommend other type of content. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the little bell so you'll be notified of when I post the drugstore trying out, more Sephora, the MAC Stranger Things. I'm purchasing the Glam Light collection. Today we've got the new Glaminatrix Neutral Palette, like that's coming. So make sure your guys' notifications are on so you'll be notified of all of that. But that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!